to go bumping over the unmade tracks. Big lorries to cash in on the building boom. And they've also learned to throw them away, like all good modern men. There are 4- and 5-floor office blocks instead of shanties, and concrete instead of mud. The modern world, our world, is taking over. I remember, for instance, not long ago, when there wasn't a single bank in Abu Dhabi. Now, these buildings are all banks. Money in the bank means money to buy with, and the beach at Abu Dhabi is piled with purchases. Abu Dhabi was built on a sandbank, so it's never had a proper harbour. But that didn't matter much when there was nothing but a few dates to ship out and a few tins to ship in. Now the whole modern world is dumped into the sand. Air conditioners and deep freezers, timber and steel, cement and typewriters, fans and filing cabinets. You name it, and you'll find it here, sweeping in like a tidal wave on the old Arabian shore. We call these construction machines. They're also weapons of destruction. They can rip up an old road or knock down an old house even faster than they can build new ones. And in Arabia now they can and do tear an old way of life to shreds before a new one has properly begun. Not that many Arabs object. In fact, most of them are only too glad to help with the destruction of their old way of life. They can see the vision of a better life in a bulldozer, and they want a piece of it. Someone, though, must try to strike a balance between building the new and wrecking the old. That someone is the ruler, Zaid. Zaid knows from experience that if he's too slow to destroy the old world, he may be removed like his brother Shakput. But if he tries to build the new world too quickly, he may destroy himself just as surely. Life for Zaid has become a perpetual balancing act between the personal leadership of the past and the faceless, impersonal administration of the future. Like Shakput, he still holds his majlis every day, so that his people can meet him, greet him, talk to him and complain to him in the traditional desert way. The ritual is unchanged. The coffee is served. Time, motion, and people seem as leisurely as ever. But behind the appearance of tradition, the revolution is creeping in. The majlis doesn't last all morning anymore. Zaid can only give his people an hour of his time. And even that's interrupted by the demands of the modern world. Welcome to the international businessmen. Welcome to the salesmen, to the experts, to science and high finance. Maybe welcome to the con men, too, until Zaid learns to pick them from the rest. Of course, they all sit down together. And of course, they're all equal, East and West, the world and Arabia. The courtesies of the old world, mingling with the business of the new. But it's the newcomers in business suits who get the places of honor at Zaid's side. And not just because Arab hospitality demands they should be favored. They're there because they represent power. The power to provide the people of Abu Dhabi with anything Zaid can now afford to buy. Still, the ritual goes on, balancing the new with the old. The first thing a visitor must do in Arabia is to learn patience. You can sit for hours in places like this and never do anything but ask after each other's health. All in good time and all by the will of God. Never do today what you can put off till tomorrow. Never act if you can talk instead. The tribesman with a problem comes to Zaid to sort it out. And everybody else must wait. Patience and still more patience. But now there's $100 million of good, hard cash burning a hole in patience every year. That's business that won't wait. It may be the will of God that's given it to Abu Dhabi, but it's the will of man, and especially the will of Zaid, that has to decide what to do with it now. For 5 years after the oil began to flow, Abu Dhabi got nothing but piecemeal changes. Now Zaid has come to power with a plan to make Abu Dhabi the model state of Arabia, with all the paraphernalia of development. In the first few months of his rule, he awarded $70 million worth of contracts, and he's out every day to spur on the men who are making him a brand new kingdom.
And this will be going out to Foxton the Mile, and the second stage, which will be done next spring or next summer, whenever Your Highness decides, would continue on out into the very deep water for the large freighters, the large ships.
طال عمرك يقول هو هذا الدفن اللي انتم تكلمتوا عليه، يعني اللي طلبتوا منه الدفن هو اللي يطلع ميل واحد.
The machines that come ashore on the beach are pounding the desert into new shapes. The men who descend from the aeroplanes are drafting a new world.
You are working night shift also?
Yes, day and night.
It's a world where time and opportunity have changed places. Yesterday, time seemed endless and the opportunities few. Today, time is short and the opportunities are infinite.
Going out for approximately a mile, which we had discussed with you in your office when Mr. Griesbach, our design engineer, was here a month ago.
Zaid told me once he didn't know what would happen in 10 years' time, but he felt he must give everything to his people now because they'd had nothing for so long. Schools and hospitals, wells and houses, an artificial deep-water harbour to replace the Abu Dhabi beach, a 4-lane highway and a water pipeline across the desert, an airport with a runway longer than London's.
This is just the location of it. Now, you are approximately in this area here, Your Excellency, Your Highness, and as we're going down, the road...
Of course it'll change everything. Zaid's told me that too. The first thing to go, he said, would be the Arab's love for his camel. But what's a camel to a VC-10?
Oh, he would take very easily 4 or 5 of the big VC-10s. I mean,
طال عمرك يعني المنطقة هذه الآن تسع حوالي 5 طائرات من الطائرات الكبيرة.
And of course, the smaller the DC-3s would take quite a few. See, one of the difficulty things that we don't know how many aircraft will be coming in here, Your Highness, and this is one of the things which you yourself will have to decide how many airlines you'll permit to come into Abu Dhabi. And this will, of course, govern the number of aircraft here at any one time.
Decide. Choose. Act. Sometimes, under these new imperatives, Zaid acts pretty hastily and harshly. He dismissed this plan for a new souk in Abu Dhabi with scarcely a moment's thought.
Small scale model, yes, oh yes. We'd have to show detailed plans.
Yes, bigger. استوي هذا على حسب رضاكم إذا ما في اسمه.
لا 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 أنا مو براضي عن هذا ولا.
No, 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 never, never, never. Take it away and start again. So 2 months' work is demolished in a moment. He who pays the piper calls the tune.